Chapter 10, Air and Water. Let's learn about air, properties of air pollution, purification of drinking water, removal of soluble impurities, uses of air pressure, water, removal of insoluble impurities, purifying drinking water. Air. Air is all around us. We cannot see it, but we can feel it. All living things need air to breathe. The thick blanket of air that surrounds our planet is called atmosphere. It extends to several hundred kilometers above the earth. Infobit. In places such as mountain tops or deep in seas and oceans where there is not enough air or oxygen, we need to carry oxygen cylinders for breathing. Uses of air. Air is needed for breathing. All living things need air to survive. Wind is a form of energy. It turns the blades of windmills to generate electricity. Wind also helps in moving sailboats across water. Air cools engines by absorbing and taking away the heat produced in them. Air is filled in tires and pillows, etc. to allow flexibility. Air is filled in rubber boats to help them in floating. Air is filled in footballs to give it shape, keep it tight and soft enough to kick. Air pressure helps in filling ink in a fountain pen, in sucking liquid through a straw and filling an injection syringe. Composition of air. Air is a mixture of colorless gases, water vapor and dust particles. Clean air consists of about 78% nitrogen, 21% and less than 1% or argon, carbon dioxide and other gases. Oxygen is the most important gas. All living things require oxygen to breathe. It is also essential for combustion or burning. Carbon dioxide is essential for the plants for photosynthesis to make their food. Water vapor determines the condition of weather in an area. Amount of water vapor in air is called humidity. Infobit. Ventilators are constructed above windows to provide an outlet for hot air so that fresh air can enter through the windows and air coolers. Properties of air. Let us read about the main properties of air. Air is needed for burning. Activity. Fix 3 candles on the table and light them. Cover the second and third candle with glass jars. The glass jar on the third candle should be bigger than the one over the second. The first candle keeps burning. The second candle blows off first and then the third one. Air take up space. Activity. Blow air into a balloon. The size of the balloon becomes bigger, showing that air occupies space. Air has weight. Activity. Blow air into 2 balloons of the same size and tie them at the 2 ends of a stick. Tie the thread from the middle of the stick. Now prick a balloon and let air escape from it. What happens when all the air escapes? The stick tilts towards the air-filled balloon It shows that air has weight. Air exerts pressure. Activity. Take a glass, push a handkerchief to the bottom of the glass so that it does not fall off when the glass is turned upside down. Turn the glass upside down and push it into a bowl of water. Observe what happens to the handkerchief. The water tries to get into the glass, but the air already present in the glass exerts pressure and pushes back the water. This pressure prevents water from reaching the handkerchief and it stays dry. This shows that air exerts pressure. You are surrounded by air on all sides and air has weight. The weight of the air presses against you and exerts a force. You can feel the pressure exerts by air with this simple activity. Activity. Blow a balloon, keep blowing it. Observe what happens. The balloon bursts, showing that the air exerts pressure on all the sides of the balloon. After the pressure inside the balloon becomes greater than the pressure outside, the balloon bursts. Hot air expands. Activity. Take a bottle with a small neck. Attach a balloon at the neck of the bottle. Place the bottle in a pan containing water. Heat the pan. The balloon will get inflated. It is because as the water in the pan gets heated, the air in the bottle also gets heated up. This hot air expands and inflates the balloon. Hot air rises up. Activity. Light a candle. Place your hand about 6 inches away on the sides of the flame. Is the air warm? You will find that the air on the sides is not warm. Now place your hand about a foot above the flame. Your hand will become warm, showing that the air heated by the flame is moving. Air pressure. The force exerted by air on an object is called air pressure. We make use of air pressure in several ways in our daily lives. We can drink liquids using a straw because of air pressure. When we suck at the straw, the air inside is removed. The air pressure in the drink inside the bottle forces the drink to rise in the straw and the drink reaches our mouth through the straw. A doctor's syringe works on the principle of air pressure. A syringe has a piston. When this piston is moved forward, the air inside the syringe goes and out. Then the nozzle is dipped in medicine, the piston is pushed back, the medicine enters the syringe. Air pollution. Harmful gases from the factories, burning of coal and petrol and bursting of crackers etc. make the air lose its purity and become polluted. The process in which air gets dirty or polluted is called air pollution. Air pollution reduces the amount of ozone in the atmosphere. It can also cause diseases such as asthma and bronchitis. Air pollution needs to be controlled. The government is taking strict measures to meet this challenge. It is insisted that all vehicles use CNG, compressed natural gas, as a fuel, as it is non-polluting. Car engines be so designed to produce less pollution. Factories put filters in the chimneys to filter out harmful gases from going into the air. Air is one of the important natural resources. We must not do anything which makes the air dirty and causes air pollution. Water. Water is very essential for the maintenance of life. We need water for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, cleaning, cooking, growing plants, generating electricity, putting out fire, and many other things. If water is not available to plants, animals, and human beings, they will die. Though nearly three-fourths of the earth is covered with water, the amount of fresh water that we can use is available in very small quantity in the rivers, lakes, ponds, and under the ground. As rainwater falls down to the earth, some of it seeps through the layers of soil and the rocks till it reaches the layer of non-porous rocks. It collects on top of these non-porous rocks. The top of this underground water is called the water table. Wells are dug to draw this water out. When there is more rainfall, the water table gets higher. Sometimes it reaches the top of the ground. Then it trickles out in the form of a spring. Purification of drinking water. We get water from river, ponds, lakes and rain. We also get water from ground by using wells, hand pumps, etc. But water in rivers, ponds and lakes is not pure. Many things like dirt, mud and germs are mixed with water and make the water unfit for use. The substance that makes the water unfit to use are called impurities. Impurities are of two types. Soluble impurities. All those impurities that can dissolve in water are called soluble impurities. For example, salts of potassium and magnesium. Insoluble impurities. All those impurities that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble impurities. For example, sand and mud. Removal of insoluble impurities. Insoluble impurities in water can be removed by different methods like sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Sedimentation. In this method, a mixture of water and insoluble impurities is allowed to stand undisturbed in a container for some time. The heavy insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the container. This layer of impurities is called sediment. When the impurities settle down, clear water is left above the layer of impurities. This is called sedimentation. Decantation. After sedimentation, the clean water is poured gently into a separate container without disturbing the sediments of impurities. This is called decantation. We can improve the rate of sedimentation by adding chemicals like alum. This is known as loading. Filtration. This method is used to separate water from insoluble impurities like sand by using a filter paper. Activity. To filter a mixture of water and sand, make a cone of filter paper and keep it inside a funnel. The mixture is poured into the funnel. The sand does not pass through the filter paper and remains behind on the filter paper. This is called residue. The clear water comes out of the filter paper and is collected in the flask below the funnel. This is called filtrate. This method of purifying water is called filtration. Removal of soluble impurities. There are two methods to separate soluble impurities. Evaporation. The sun slowly heats the water on the surface of the earth to change it into water vapor. The process of change of water into water vapor due to heating is called evaporation. Evaporation of water takes place at a faster rate when there is a strong wind. The exposed surface of water is large. The temperature of the surroundings is high. The air is dry. Water vapor goes up in the atmosphere and forms clouds. These clouds fall on the earth as rain. Water vapor also forms dew, frost, fog, and distillation. Distillation involves the following steps. Impure water is taken in a round-bottomed flask and heated. On heating, water changes into steam and the impurities are left behind. When the steam passes through the condenser, it cools and turns into water. Pure water collected by this process is called distilled water. It is the purest form of water as it does not contain any impurities. Distilled water is used in laboratories, car batteries, and medicines. Purifying drinking water. Water may contain germs that can cause diseases. Therefore, drinking water needs to be purified. Drinking water can be purified using the following methods. Boiling. One of the simplest ways to purify drinking water is by boiling it. Boiling water for about 10 minutes kills the germs present in water, making it safe for drinking. Boiled water should be stored in clean and covered pots and pans. Distillation. The water collected by this process is called distilled water. Distilled water, as we know, is the purest form of water and does not contain any impurities or germs. It is widely used in car batteries, injections, and medicines. Chlorination. Another method of purifying water is by adding a substance called chlorine. These days, chlorine tablets are easily available. Adding chlorine tablets in water kills germs and makes the water pure. This process of purifying water is called chlorination. How do you think people living in a city or a town get their drinking water? To make water obtained from lakes and rivers fit for drinking, it is purified in big purification plants before it is made available to homes. The main methods involved in the purification are sedimentation, filtration, and chlorination. Infobit. Distillation water is used in laboratories for doing experiments as it is free of any impurities and germs. City water supply. Large impurities are removed by sedimentation and decantation. Alum is added to increase the rate of sedimentation. Loading. Clean water is supplied to user. River. Sedimentation tank. Chlorine is added to kill germs. Chlorination. Finer impurities are removed by filtration. Key points. There is a layer of air called atmosphere surrounding the earth. Air has many uses for us. Air is a mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases. Air occupies space, has weight, and exerts pressure. The force exerted by air on object is called air pressure. Insoluble impurities in water can be removed by sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Soluble impurities in water can be separated by distillation.